Alright students, welcome to the next video lesson. Today we'll be looking at section 3-4, multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. And you can find this on page 136. And we are going to just jump right in. Here's the first problems where we have to multiply some fractions. Now, good news, multiplying fractions is a whole lot easier than having to add and subtract, because we don't have to worry about that whole find a common denominator and change the fraction thing. You can just multiply, okay? So, and you just multiply straight across. Don't cross multiply. That's a different, you use that in a different situation. If you're told to multiply fractions, you just multiply straight across. If you need to write that down as an extra thing in your notes, I recommend you do it, because if you think, oh, I'm going to forget that, write it down. So you have 3 times 2 is equal to 6. And then you have 5 times 4 is equal to 20. If the fraction can be reduced, you do need to reduce it. And this one can. It reduces to 3 over 10. Okay, so we're done there. You just box that in. See your answer? Over here we have 1 times 1. Is equal to 1. 3 times 2 is 6. So that was pretty easy. Next, I want to show you something. Sometimes your fractions will reduce, just like how this one reduced up here and this one didn't right here. So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. For those times that it does, you're allowed to do it like this. You can multiply it straight across, and you would get what? 10 over 18. So this reduces to 5 over 9. So that's one way to work it out. Okay? Another way you could have worked this out was to say if I had 5 over 6 times 2 over 3, you can cross-reduce. Not cross-multiply, cross-reduce. So you see if they have any common factors going across. Any common factors? No, so it can't reduce. Any common factors going this way? Why, yes. 2 goes into both of them. Goes in this 2 one time, goes in this one 3 times. So 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 3 is 9. Hey, look, that's the same answer we got right there. So just showing this to you to say you have 2 options. You can multiply and then reduce, or you can cross-reduce and then multiply. So you have 2 options. Whichever you find easiest, do it that way, okay? So again, look at this example. We could just multiply straight across, and you would get, whoops, that's the wrong number. You would get, multiplying straight across, you would end up with 20 over 40, and that reduces to 1/2. Okay? Again, let's see what would happen if we cross-reduced first. Okay? So crossing and reduce, 5 goes into 5 one time, 5 goes into 5 one time. 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 2 times. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. 1 times 2 is equal to 2. So, regardless of which way you do it, you still get 1/2. So, notice that. All right, next, whole numbers times fractions. They should be very easy. All you have to do is turn the whole number into a fraction. So if I have 5 times 1/2, I'm going to put a 1 under the 5. And you might want to write all of this down in pencil or some kind of colored pen, and then use a different color pen to put the 1 underneath. That way you can distinguish from, this is the original problem, and I added the 1 underneath, so you can see the difference. If you just do it all in pencil, it'll be a little difficult to tell. Like, if you look back at that, you're like, well, what's the original? You think this is the original, but no, that's the original. So make sure you do something to help you distinguish between the 2. So you would say 5 times 1, and you get 5 over 2, okay? So you get 5 over 2, because you say 5 times 1, 1 times 2, voila. You would need to turn this into a mixed number, so you end up with 2 and 1/2. Yeah. 9 over 1. Okay. Check something. Can it cross reduce? It can. Do you have to do it right now? No, it just makes it easier. This becomes a 1. This becomes a 3. And you end up with 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1 over 1. Well, 6 over 1 is just equal to 6. Okay? Next, mixed numbers. Ooh, exciting. This would get extremely complicated if you try to do this and leave them as mixed numbers. I had a student who tried it one year, and he ended up making it into like a 20-step problem. In order to get it right, you're going to turn this into a 10 to 20-step problem. It's going to give you a headache, and the chances of you making a mistake are very high. So I recommend you do it the way I'm going to show you, and it makes it a whole lot easier. Does it take 1 or 2 more steps than what we've done so far? Yes. But the way I'm showing you is going to get you the right answer in the least amount of steps. So do it this way. Convert your mixed numbers to improper fractions. So you say 3 times 2 plus 1, you get 7 over 3 times, and you multiply that, you end up with 11 over 4. You check it out to see if it can be reduced. Nothing can be reduced, so you end up with 77 over 12, okay? And now we need to turn this into a mixed number. Remember, you can use long division to figure out how many times that's going to go into that. But if I've done my math correctly, I believe it should be 6 and 5/12. So it should be 6 and 5/12. If I've made a mistake, pay attention. You might catch my mistakes. All right, 5 times 3 plus 3. Moving on to this next example, you end up with 18 over 5. Next, you end up with 13 over 10. So the question is, can anything be reduced? Why, yes it can. Take a look. You got a 10, you got an 18. This can be reduced to 5. This can be reduced to 9, because 2 goes into this 9 times. 2 goes into this 5 times. Anything else can be reduced? No, it can't. So we just multiply now. So we say 9 times 13. Well, what's that going to be? It's going to be, let's see, 117. Yes, 117. 5 times 15. That would be 75. How many times does that go into that? Looks like we're going to end up with a, what are we going to end up with? Looks like we're going to end up with, did I multiply that correctly? Make sure. I think I did. Yep. All right. So we end up dividing. You end up with 1. And you get, of course, 75 right here. We need to subtract to figure out, because I did that one time. Let me see real quick, do my little scratch work to the side. You don't have to do it like this. You could have used long division. I just did it a different way. So you get 2 there, you would minus that from that, you would get 4 there. Let's see, add that to that, yeah. So, voila. And it's as simple as that. There you go.